So we have 3-4 people from SCSC. Anyone in the chat who is from SCSC? Okay, 5 people in the room in the LT. Yes, Brian, this workshop is recorded as of now. Thanks for reminding me. Okay. Okay then. Any year 1 students? Okay, cool. So year 2, year 3. Cool. Okay, so I think we have more of like a technical background and stuff. So okay, let's get into this. So I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. It's going to be very beginner. Does anyone have experience in Python, basic Python? Okay, cool. That works. So today I'll probably finish this in like an hour and a half. I know it's a Friday. I know you also want to go back early. So even I want to go back early. So yeah. So the contents of today, I'm going to go into the OpenCV introduction, then installation. If I'm not wrong, everyone has installed Python PyCharm, right? Everyone? Can people on the chat please respond? Has everyone like, I think it's part of the email that we have sent to download. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, okay, cool. That's great. So PyCharm and Python is done. Okay, so today we're going to go into the introduction, installation, and then I'm going to talk a bit about images and videos, and then basic functions when it comes to OpenCV, then a few other filtering features, resizing, cropping, shapes, text, face recognition, and I'll be introducing you guys to this. In the end, we're going to combine all of this stuff together and do this small project. I hope you guys can see. Give me a second. So using OpenCV, oh wow. That's yeah, so we'll come up with something like this. Okay, so it's all cool computer vision stuff, and yeah, we'll do something like this in the end. Okay, so now let me go into what is OpenCV. Okay, so OpenCV is a cross-platform open source library mainly aimed at computer vision and machine learning, and it's developed by Intel. It's widely used for image and video detection and recognition, deep learning, facial recognition, and a few of the areas that includes OpenCV is 2D and 3D feature toolkits, facial recognition, gesture recognition, object identification, motion tracking, segmentation, and HCI. So let's go on to installation. I hope everyone has actually installed this. So before that, okay, let me create a new. So this is a technical hands-on workshop. So I'd like everyone to open their PyCharm. Okay, and yeah, so I'll be coding, I'll be showing a few things here and there, and then you guys will be able to follow me as well. Before that, I'd like for you guys to, yeah, so I hope, is this link shared with everyone, the OpenCV files? Okay, so these files, I've shared it in the Zoom as well. I hope you guys can access this. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask me and unmute yourself. So yeah, this is the link, and it has a few of these files that we'll be using. It'd be great if you guys can download this and we can start working on it. Okay. Any doubt? Do you have the? Do you want me to share the link via Telegram? You have it? Cool. Yeah. Okay. So let's start a new project. And is it there in Telegram? Yes. Okay. Okay, then I'll just go ahead. So if you have Python already installed, we'll just go ahead, create a new project, and I'm going to call it OpenCV TGIFHacks. And if it's all good, then you'll have an environment already assigned if you've downloaded it and used it earlier as well. So yeah, I'm going to just create this. Okay, we'll wait for the files to download. And for those who are not that used to Python, maybe I'll just give you a quick intro. So over here, you can create a new Python file. Okay, and this is where you basically code this area, and this is where all the project files belong to. And so if you want to run a basic file, this is how you add it, and then you can add configuration. It's all easy. So along the way, I'll teach you. So now, if you want to integrate, download OpenCV into this, for Mac users, I am aware that you go to preferences, and you open this tab. But for Windows users, you have to go to file settings. So yeah, I'll just wait for everyone to go to file settings. And let me know if I'm going too fast as well. The people in the chat. Okay, so if everyone's open here, we can go to settings folder. And under here, you see project OpenCV TGIFHacks. You can go to Python interpreter. Yeah, it's nothing yet so far, but I'm just going to add an interpreter. Okay, this is my earlier stuff. And this, I will press on the plus, and then I'm going to search for OpenCV -Python. Okay, and I will install this package. OpenCV-Python. Sorry? So you click on this plus here. You. Okay. Oh, okay. So you click on here. Give me a second. You click on here and you have to add an interpreter. So this is my previously used ones. And yeah, I'll be just adding that.
Recording in progress.
Is everyone through with this? So if I have this connected already, I have OpenCV Python here. Okay. So the thing is, I think I already had this long back, but let me see if I can. I hope I'm clear. I hope everyone can hear me. So earlier we faced one issue, and now I'll go slowly. So when you create a new project, right, you name OpenCV TGIFHacks. For those who have just joined, welcome. And yeah, this is OpenCV, computer vision with OpenCV, and I hope you have installed PyCharm CE as well as Python. And this is like a technical workshop, so we'll be going step by step and I'll be explaining everything. So yeah, when you open itself, you should indicate which Python you'll be using. So yeah, it is over here. I think it should be already done for you guys. Then, give me a second. Okay, I'll be going with a previously configured interpreter and we'll create. Okay, so we'll go to preference, project OpenCV, Python interpreter, and then over here, you can choose whatever Python project you have, and then you add plus here. Okay. So I have that, but I will remove that right now. So you go here, and then you search for OpenCV Python, and you install this package. Okay. So let me just try something out. Give me a second. Yeah, so I hope everyone has done this. Everyone is able to import the CV, computer vision. Then, all good? Okay. How about you? Yeah. Okay. So this is how you install. I'll just continue. Okay. The next one. Okay. So this was about the installation. Now let me get a bit into depth about images and videos. So when it comes to images, how do you think this is portrayed? Okay, let me just give you an example. Okay, so basically an image is like an array of boxes. So I have this, okay? And if I want to draw a tree, how will it look like? Okay, draw a tree. How do you think it'll look like? Suppose this is my image and I split it into grids. How do you think it'll look like on this grid? No, not tree. Three, the number three.
Oh, number 3.
Yeah. Yeah, so so I will fill in particular boxes like that, right? So this is an array of boxes and I can fill in. So we can denote the colors black and white as 0 and 1. So it looks something like this. So this is basically how an image looks. If you see the above image, that is like a proper image, and later on it gets pixelated, and that is how it is, composed of. This major image is composed of these small pixels, which is basically these boxes, if you have to say. So if you've heard of terms like HD, FHD, 8K, 4K and stuff, it's basically if you want a more detailed image, so you increase the pixels, right? So HD is 128, 1280 into 720, and you have VSGA and things like that. Now, this is just for black and white, right? If you see this earlier one, this is just black and white. So how do you think, so this is not very detailed. So suppose you have this picture, right? It has two colors, right? So in the first one, 2 levels is just black and white. So if you want to get more detail, we can have an image with more levels. And this would mean instead of having 0 and 1 level, you can create a range of between 0 and 1, right? So between black and white. So this is how you have gray in between. Here you can see the difference that between 2, 6 and 16 levels, there are shades of gray, but still the image is not very clear. So in this case, we'll be using an 8-bit. So what is 256 in terms of bits? 2 raised to 8. So basically, if you see the 2 levels, it's 0 and 1. The 16 levels one is 2 raised to 4. So, oh, okay, yeah. So 16 levels is 2 raised to 4. So basically, the more gradient, the more ranges that you add in, the better and the more detailed a picture would look like. Okay. So now, how do you think a colored image works? This is for grayscale, right? How do you think a colored image works? I'd like some input from the audience. Okay. Okay. So it's the exact same concept, but yeah, so you have basically 3 different channels. So it is three different channels of 3 different colors, which is R, G, and B. So basically the combination of these values is what will give you a cool looking color or a different looking color. Now, in short, adding these RGB images together. So in this case, you see the width and the height. This is a VSGA format. So this thing here, yeah, and the channel is 3 because to obtain a colored image, you need to have 3 channels. Okay. Now, if I have to get into videos are the same thing as images, but like continuous images, just images stacked together at the same time. So that's just basically videos. Now let's get into coding, okay? Okay, so first, let's, if you don't have, you might already have the main.py. So how we import this function is just enter import CV2. And after that, you can type in print installed to see if you have installed, if that import statement has gone through. Okay. Now, at the same time, I have, I'll just tell again, the files here, I hope you have downloaded. You can add this to the project because we'll be using them later on. So I'll just add them to the project here. Yeah. Okay. Do give me a thumbs up if everything is done, if you've installed it correctly. Okay, so I hope this is done. So now let's, and you guys have moved these files too. So we have a random picture, a file with a face and a testing video. Okay, all good? Can I get a thumbs up if everyone's done? Okay, so as of now we have imported and everything is fine. So let's go on to the basic functions, right? So first, let's go on to reading these images. So in this case, you create a variable image, okay? And then, okay, so over here, what I do is I import CV2 as CV, okay? I go to image, then I go to CV dot imread, okay? And then I pass in the path of my image. So over here, it'll be profile.jpg, Okay. Currently, I don't have an autocomplete feature in my laptop. I think there's some issue with that, but I'll be showing you how this goes. So this is basically reading the file, and you have created this image using computer vision. So how about to show, right? So to show, we use CV dot, and remember it is, I use CV because I import CV to a CV, okay? Okay, I go to CV, I am show, and then this is the name of the window output, irrelevant, not really necessary. I mean, it is necessary, but it's fine. And then image. So let me just run this. Okay. Now when I run it, if you guys notice, something opens real quick. And why is that so? It's because I need to wait for it to show. So it just opens and goes quickly. So for this, we add CV dot wait key. And over here for infinite time, that means to like just show infinitely, you can put 0, but inside the value, it's actually in milliseconds. Okay, I'll go slow. Okay, so this is just to read and show the basic file. So if you're done with that, 0 is to show infinitely, and more than 0 is the millisecond value. So let me just run this and show how it looks like. Okay, so this is your basic output for an image. Okay, I hope that's clear for everyone. Did everyone get this? Or if you have any other image, this is just to show the image. Everyone got this? Yeah? Is there anyone facing an issue? Sorry? Yeah, just drag and drop into this folder, the top folder. OpenCV TGIFHacks. Okay, I'll go slower. Okay, so this is for images. Is it all right? Yeah, I'll move on, guys. Okay, so I'll be moving on to the next one, which is, okay, so this is read images and show images. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. I'm just going to comment it out. You can just remove it. Comment, the command is a command and backslash, no, front slash. So I'm commenting it out. And now let's read a video. And this output, I'm just going to stop it there. Okay. Now read video. So a video is like a series of images, right? So how we go through is we read each image frame by frame. Okay, so this is like just basic code. I'm just going to show you. So we're going to create a new variable cap, which is equals to cv dot video capture. Okay, so this will take in the entire value. So over here, I have downloaded test MP4, you see. For those who have a problem, like just drag and drop this over here, okay? So, and then I'm going to put in the path. So that is test MP4. Okay, so I've created a value where this is important, video capture, okay, and then test MP4. These are like base functions that you follow through. And now you're going to run a loop. Okay, so you're going to go to while true. So that's like an infinite loop, right? And then you're going to create a variable success, comma, image equals to cap dot read. Okay, so this what it's going to show is this success is a Boolean value, and this image is reading every single image from this video capture. And if it's a success, and then it will assign that the Boolean value to this variable success. Okay, so over here you can add in a new value. You can add in a if condition, if clause, like, oh, if it is success, then show, if it is not. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and use this. So I need to show the images, right? So I'll do cv dot im show. Okay, I'm going to add in the window name, could be video, and image. So you see this image here? I'm going to add that in here. Okay. And now this is so you remember the wait key that we add here, right? So instead of that, what we're going to, I mean, it's the same application, but what we're going to do is cv dot wait key of 1 and 0xff equal to ORD of Q. And then you just break. I will give you some time to copy this down. But this shows that, this shows that you are going to show the image and you're going to wait for probably a millisecond because it's a video, right? And so if this is done and you suppose you press the Q button, you're going to exit the video or else it's going to loop forever. Okay, so this thing about this is there's no audio because it's just computer vision. So if everyone's cool, then I will just run this, okay? See, so we have the video that's playing around and it's gonna go in loop, okay? So let me just wait. Oh, it's not, okay, cool. But yeah, this is how it works. Okay, this is how you read a video, cool? Everyone's cool? Okay, so OXSF means if I supposedly click the Q button on the key, that's where I quit the video. Okay, so I'm pressing Q, I quit the video. Okay. I haven't tried this out, but I'd like to see if this works. I'm just changing the value. Okay, no, that doesn't work. It just keeps stuff. So this is like for the first, because if you remember, this is infinite, right? So the first image will be infinitely just there. So yeah, so this is for reading the video. I'm just gonna go ahead and comment this out. Okay, and then we're gonna go to next, which is interesting. This is for web recording. Okay, so for this, you're gonna use web. I mean, in a way, it is a video capture, but through your webcam, right? So how you're gonna go about with this is, it's the same thing. So you create a new variable called cap is equals to, you have cv dot video capture of 0. So why I put the value 0 is it depends on the number of webcams you have. Suppose I have a webcam that's connected externally, so that'll be 1, and and if you have more, it's going to be 2. But in this case, for your own laptop, it's going to be 0. And yeah, so over here, if you see, it's while true, right? Instead of that, we're going to have something called while cap dot is open. Okay, got it? We're going to do the same thing. So it's the same thing here because okay, this is just for if you have allowed permissions and stuff for it. I think later on you're going to get the permissions thing and you just accept all that stuff. But yeah, so this is what happens. Then you record the same thing, success comma image is equals to cap dot read. Okay, the same thing here because in the end video is image almost same thing, right? Then you're going to go ahead and have cv dot I'm sure. Okay, web cam. Okay, comma image. And then you can just copy paste the same thing that I put here. Yeah. Cool. And now we'll just run this. So the only change from here is I'm going to add a video capture 0, and why instead of while true, I'm gonna have while cap is opened. You're gonna have a bunch of permissions that will probably pop up, but I'll just show mine as of now. Wait, give me a second. Oh, yeah, okay. Video. Okay. Oh, it's wait, key 1. Wait, key 1. Okay. So I hope everyone can see this. I hope everyone has reached this point. Okay, so that's all about reading. Yeah. Is everyone cool? Sorry? No, it's not from GitHub. You create a new Python file. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is all about reading. I hope everyone in the chat in Zoom can go ahead with this. So I'll just be going on. So next, what we're going to discuss is we're going to discuss stuff like grayscale, blurring, and a few other features. I think we might be running short of time, so I will not go too much into it, but yes, I'll still show. So over here you have, so I'm creating a new file. Okay, let me just call it new Python file. Okay, I'll just call it filter. Okay, so this is how you add a file. Okay, So now I'm going to import CV2 as CV, same thing as earlier. And now I will also read a new image. So if you see from main, I'm going to read this. Okay, you can just keep reusing the same code because yeah, we'll be using this a lot. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this into a grayscale image. So this is a pretty simple one-line code. So I'll create a new variable image gray, and that is going to be CV dot. So I'm going to convert this into a different color, grayscale color. Convert dot color. Okay, I'm going to use this image. The first parameter is this image, and then the second parameter is what I want to convert it to. In this case, since I'm converting it to color, in this case I'm going to go CV dot color underscore. It's not RGB. It's in OpenCV. It's BGR to gray. Okay, and then over here I'm going to add image gray. Okay, and then I'll just show what is this gray. Okay, and then let me just try running this. So if you want to run this, right, since it's a different file, you right click and then you press run. Okay, so it's CVT color. So you see this pretty lady is green. Okay, all cool. Okay, now I'll go to the next one, which is image blur. Okay, so I'm going to add a Gaussian blur to this. So this again is CV dot. It is called Gaussian blur. So you can just focus on the spelling, GAUSSIAN blur. Okay, make sure your caps, everything is same because it's Python. And then I'm going to add in image, or you can add in image gray, anything that you want. And then the next value is kernel size, which I'm going to put 10, which is basically matrix in a way. And this is a sigma x value. So another thing I'd like to share is, since I don't have the automatic features here, you can always check in the OpenCV documentation and it'll have all these values. So it requires a kernel size as well as a sigma x, and you can read into this what it all means and stuff. And yeah, so there's a lot of documentation under docs.opencv that you can refer to. So yeah, as of now, this is for image filtering. And then now I'll just put in the same function and I'll call this blur. And I am going to pass this. And let's see what this is showing. Okay, there seems to be an issue. Give me a second. Oh, yes. Another thing that I forgot to mention is this is supposed to be an odd value only, or else it wouldn't work. So you see, this is blur, this is gray, and you can adjust the values accordingly. So let me just put 1, 1. Let me try running that again. So this blur is not that much if you see. So initially I put 9, 9. Now I'm going to put 5, 5, which is not, it shouldn't be as blurry as that. So yeah, so you can control the blur using this kernel. Okay, all good? Or am I going too fast? Yeah. Okay. Now I just introduce another feature, another filtering kind of feature called image canny. Okay, so this basically highlights your edges, most prominent edges in the video, in the picture. So we'll just go ahead with this. Okay, so image canny, how you do is cv.canny, CANNY, and then I'm gonna go image, 100, 100. Okay, so these parameters is threshold parameter 1, threshold value 1, and threshold value 2. And you can realize how it changes accordingly. Okay. Sorry. Canny 2 is more of like highlighting the values. Wait, I'll just show how it looks like, and then you'll have an idea. Give me a second. Okay, let me just pass an image canny here. So it's going to look like this. So most of the edges are very highlighted kind of feature over here. So this is mainly used, image scannies, and there's this other thing called dilate and erode that's mainly used when it comes to color detection, but I'm not going to go too much into that because it'll be a bit more complicated. So I'm just going to stick to the basics, okay? So suppose I just want to play around with this, okay? So let me do 150, 200 or something. Yeah, it's a bit lighter if you can see. So let me go 450, 200. Yeah, it becomes, the edges are becoming less prominent. So over here you have three different filters that you can add to this images. Okay, and when it comes to most recognition, people, most training data sets use gray more than color. So that's why we are introducing image gray over here. Okay, so that's it in terms of filtering. Now let me go to the next topic. This is called resizing and cropping. Okay, so then again, I'm going to create a new file. No, not a HTML file, a new Python file, and I'm going to call it crop. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing, import CV2 as CV. Okay, and I'm going to copy the same old functions. Okay, so I'm going to copy the image profile and image show. Okay, so now what we're going to do over here is we're going to resize the image based on our given values of pixels. So I'm going to create a new value here called image resize. Okay, and that is equals to cv dot resize. Okay, I'm going to pass in the image variable. Okay, and over here I'm going to create, so it's going to be, make sure that you have a bracket again inside. You're going to put 300 comma 500, which is the width and the height respectively. Okay, and at the same time I'm going to, okay, another thing I can do over here is there is this function called image shape. Okay, so this image dot shape, and this will actually I'm going to print this value here, and this will show the width and the height of the current image. Okay, and now I'm going to do this here as well. So print image dot image resize dot shape. Okay, and I'm going to output the image resize here. Okay, so let me just, and again how you run it is you double click and you press run crop. Okay, so if you see, the image is resized, and you see over here, this is the width, the height, and I have changed the values again. Sorry, this is the height and this is the width. Okay, so it goes height and then width. And can someone tell me what this value is? It's there in both, 3. Can someone tell me what that value could be? Just give me a wild guess. Come on. Yeah, okay, Chinmay said it right, RGB. So if you remember in the earlier presentation, I told we need 3 channels to show this color. So basically this color means it uses 3 different channels. And yeah, so it shows that image as well, which is cool. Okay, so that is image resizing. So let me see something called image cropping. Okay, so image cropping means you can crop that particular portion. And I know in your phones and stuff, this is so easy. And it's a bit more interesting when you see like you can do it on your own using your computer. So let's go to image crop. We'll create a new variable called image crop. And then, so if you think about images, right, they are, okay, if you think of these images, as I said earlier, is an array of pixels. So it's just basically small boxes, and you can treat it like an array. So over here, if I want to crop it, right, I can treat it like an array. So suppose I want just this portion of the thing. So if I think if you have Windows, you can use on Paint and you can find the particular pixel size. So if I want this portion, this is how I'll do it. So I have image of, okay, I'm going to go from 0 to 200. You're going to go height first and then width, okay, 0 to 200. Okay, that's the basic value that I'm giving. And height can be 200 to 500. Okay, suppose I want to go from 0. Okay, so this is the height, 0 to 200, and width is going to go from 0 to 500. Okay, so let's see. Oh wait, no, sorry, I need to add an image crop here. So if you see, the image is actually cropped from 0 to 200 and 0 to 500. So suppose I do it from 200 to 500. Which portion do you guys think it will take? So I'll just say again, this is the height, 0 to 200, and this is the width, 200 to 500. Which portion do you guys think it'll take? Can someone give me an answer if you've been paying attention? Which side? Do you think it's this side? Okay, let's check it out. Yeah, that's right. So if you see, 200 to 500 is from, apparently in this picture, from here to here. So this is how you basically crop images, okay? Top right, yeah, that's right. Okay, so this is how you crop and resize images. And now we'll go on to the next thing. This is a bit more interesting, unlike this. And basically we're gonna use all this again to create the final project. So it'll be interesting for all of you. So this is just about cropping, recycling. And if you have, so I think in this case, you can refer to the docs. Again, it'll have all this information about what's required, what is not required. So yeah, now let me create a new file. And now we're gonna move on to shapes and texts on images, okay? I'm just gonna call it shapes here. We're gonna go same old CV2 as CV, okay? And now I'm going to import numpy as np. I hope everyone has installed numpy. I think you can do a quick pip install numpy as well, or a brew install numpy. So you can add that. But another way how, if you have made this work, I think another way I've noticed is, you can then again go to preferences, go to the same thing and plus and go to numpy over here. Okay. I think numpy, if you've used Python before, numpy is something that you use a lot. So what numpy is, it creates, so suppose you have so many arrays. So if you know a few things about data structures, suppose you have to create an array and there's like 500, 256 variables, and you have to initialize this. You need to add like values and stuff to it. So manually doing it, it's going to be really hard to these matrices. So that's why you mainly use numpy. Okay, so I hope you've added numpy. And right now what we are aiming to do is create a plain black background, okay, a plain black image. And we're going to do it, since I told earlier, since an image is just basically a matrix in its own sense, we're going to create that. So the code for this is, I'm just going to create a new image, okay, it's going to be np dot zeros, okay, okay, and then I'm going to put another braces, 512, 512, 3, and then I'm going to do np dot uint8. Okay, and I'm going to do the same cv dot im show shapes, comma, image, and then a cv dot rate key of 0. Okay, before I test this out, can you guys tell me what this means? I just told about image shape earlier, so can you guys predict how this image is going to look like? Anyone can put it in the chat as well. Just predict how this image is going to look like. All black? Why do you think it's black? What makes it black? Okay, that's cool. You've been paying good attention. So what does this 512, 5123 mean? Yeah, that's correct. So 512, 5123 means this is the dimension, width, height, and the channel 3. Okay. And how about this NPUINT8? Yeah, cool, cool. So this is basically, so if you've noticed, if I've mentioned, since I've mentioned it earlier, you see this range, right? So if you want that range of values, that's why we add NPUINT8. So it means that initially I'm setting all these things to 0, but it can take value from 0 to 255. Okay, this is what it means. Okay, so I've created this image. So let me see. So I'm gonna go to shapes and I'm gonna run this. And yeah, that's right. This is a 512 into 512 width. Okay. So now let's create some shapes. Okay. So first, let's go on to the rectangle. Okay. So rectangle, it's quite simple. So you don't create a new variable or anything. You just go cv dot, click on rectangle. Okay. And the first value is going to be what you're going to draw it on. Okay. So you're drawing it on the image that we just created right now. Okay. And then the next one is the top left of the rectangle. And the next value is the top below right, bottom right of the rectangle. So it's going to be, if this is supposedly the rectangle, I'm going to consider the next parameter I'm going to add is this point. The next parameter I'm going to add is this point. So I'm going to put 0, 0. Okay. And then I'm going to put 600, 600. Okay. And then the next value I'm going to put is the color. Okay. So it can be 0, 255, 0. Okay. And yeah, as of now, this is what I'm going to add. I think there's an issue in this code. What do you guys think it could be? There's some issue in this code. It won't run. It's going to pop an error for sure. I heard the number from someone. What do you think the error is going to be? Sorry? Yeah. So since this is only 512, 600 is going to pop an error. So I mean, I'm just going to go to 255, 255. And what color do you guys think this would be? What color is this going to be? Come on, people in Zoom, please respond. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's see. Yeah, that's a green color. So you see this is 0, 0, and this is 255, 255. Okay, so which is almost center. Okay, cool. Now suppose I want to fill this. I can add this value called cv.filled. Okay, and let me just try running that again. And you have a filled thing. So if you want more documentation on this, you can find it here. So okay, over here you have, no, not that one. CV rectangle. So this is image, 0.1, 0.2. Then you have color, you have thickness, and then you have line type and everything. Okay, so in this thickness, negative values like filled means that the function can draw a filled rectangle. So everything you can find here. Now let's move on to the next one. Let's draw a simple line. Okay, so you have again CV dot line. Where are you going to do it? On the image. Where is the first point? Let me do 0, 0. And suppose I don't know the value of the end line, okay? And I want to draw a diagonal from here to here. And I don't know the end value. Suppose I don't know this value at all. What is a good, what function can I use to put that in? Can any of you suggest? I just talked about it in the previous workshop. I mean, the previous file. I can put another value, but I don't want to use this value. What do you think it's going to be? Come on, people in chat. Come on. I just talked about it in the previous file. I'm going to be testing you guys a lot like this. No one? No one? So I want to draw from here to here, a diagonal. So the first point is 0, 0. The last point is 512, 512, right? But suppose I don't know the dimensions of this image and I want to draw a diagonal. Which kind of function would you think I'll be using? Sorry? Yeah, okay, someone got it right. So I'm going to use the image.shape value. Okay, so you remember in the earlier one, when I press crop and I wanted to print the image shape, I get 3 values. So that's how I'm going to use, okay? So this is for one diagonal here to there. So I'm going to use the first value is going to be 0. And the second value is going to be image.shape of 1. Okay, so this is going to be in braces, okay? I mean, in brackets. And then I'm going to go and fill in my color. Let me use a different color. So 255, 0, 0. And then it's going to be thickness 3. Okay, this is the last value is thickness. Let me try playing that. Okay. So you have a diagonal that I used using this value. Got it? Okay, and remember that it's BGR and not RGB. That's why it's like this. Okay, now let's move on to the next image, which is a circle. Okay, I'm going to go to cv.circle. And what are the 2 main dimensions when it comes to a circle that we need to always, mention? Come on, what are the 2 main dimensions of a circle? Radius and midpoint. Okay, Daniel 10. That's right. So you have the center and the radius. So how we're going to go is we're going to put it on the image. Oh, give me a second. I'm going to put it on the image. Okay. And over here, let me just say my center is 250, 250. And my radius is supposedly 30. Okay. And then I'm going to use the final red color 0, 0, 255. And then, yeah. So then again, if you want to make it filled, you can go ahead and do that cv.fill like here. So I'm just going to run this again. And see, in the center of the thing, You have. Okay, suppose I want to put it in the exact center without using the exact dimensions. What function should I be using for the center? So instead of using 250, 250, what do you think is the function to put for the exact center of this image? Not the value, but like the function. Someone in chat, come on. I don't have too many answers from the chat. Yeah, that's right. So it's image.shape by 2. Okay, got it? Now let's go ahead and add the last shape, last thing, which is text. Okay, so let me go. So over here for text, I'm gonna go to the same CV dot put text of, I'm gonna put it on image, and then I'm gonna use OpenCV. No, I'm gonna use TGIFHacks. Okay, comma. The value that I want to put. So in this case, since the image is 512, I'll just start from 0. And let me see the height. Maybe around 200 or something. Okay. And the next value is cv.font. Okay. So they're asking for the font value. So you see over here, you have these fonts. Okay. So I'm going to use some simple font Hershey complex. Okay. So cv.font underscore Hershey underscore complex. Okay. And then the final thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add the font size and of course the font color. So I'm going to do 255 and 255, 255. Okay. And then the thickness, I want to make it a bit thicker. So I'm going to put it 3. So how it works is which image I'm going to put it on, the text, the position. Okay. Then the font. What is this? The image, the font size, then the color, then the thickness. Okay. So let me try running that again. See, I have TGIFHacks and it's white in color because, why is it white in color? Someone tell me why is it white in color? Come on, type fast, type fast. How is it white in color? Because all are 255. That's right. So if you see based on the scale that I showed earlier, yeah, when it's all 255, if you combine all these colors together, it's going to be white. Okay, so that's shapes and text. I think we'll take a small 5-10 minute break and we'll come and go back to face recognition and our final project, the small thing that I showed earlier. So I'll just take a 5-10 minute break. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now, so the next one that we're going to go for is called is face recognition. So this is quite interesting. So I'm going to create a new file called face recognition. Okay. And before I get into this, I'd like to explain a bit more about face recognition and how we actually do this. Okay. So basically the earliest method of face recognition was proposed by Viola and Jones. So what we do over here is, so this is basic machine learning in a way. So we have to train a few images. So we have positives, which are all that are faces, and we have negatives, which are all non-faces, so any object, and together we put in together and train it. And we collect these positives and negatives and create a cascade file, this XML file, and that helps us to find the face. So we are currently not going to train, but we're going to use something that OpenCV has. So OpenCV, they have a few default cascade faces. The thing about these cascade files, you can make them on our own, but we are not going to do that today. So if you see, yeah. So under OpenCV and GitHub, they have these cascade files. So you have a bunch. So you can recognize a face, you can recognize eyes, you can recognize even license plates, then full body, profile, face, and all of that cool stuff. So it is, these are all the trained cascade files. So right now we're going to do that. I'm going to go slow with this. And yeah, and after this, we're going to put everything and create that project that I showed earlier. So now let's get back to CV2 as CV. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to pass in the image. So image is equal to cv.imread, okay, profile.jpg, okay, and then the same old, let me just copy this. You can just copy that. Okay, and you're gonna have this image output. And right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this new variable called face cascade, okay, equals to CV dot cascade classifier, okay, and you, oh yes, I forgot to mention, before that you're supposed to have these files downloaded into you. Currently, we're going to only use frontal face default and i3 glasses. But if you've seen the GitHub over here, I've added this file. So if you could have downloaded that, that'd be great. Okay. So I'm going to just copy paste those files. So I have it here. Okay. I'm going to copy paste it to here. Okay. So I'm going to have it all here, but we are going to mainly use i3 and frontal face default. Okay. Give me a thumbs up when everyone's done doing that, then we can continue. Okay. Good. Everyone's good. Chat, come on, Zoom. Is there in the GitHub link that I've shared earlier? Chat says okay. Okay. Okay, so now so we're going to pass in basically which kind of classification we require. So right now we're going to see, okay, not that. We're going to see frontal face default. So something I do is I copy, instead of writing the whole thing, you can double click, copy path reference. Okay, so you can have path from content root, okay, and then just paste it here, put curlies and paste it there. Okay, so you double click this, you go to copy path reference, and then you press path from content root. Okay, so we have told so this, using this variable, we're going to say that, oh yeah, we're going to use this, we want to find frontal face defaults. Okay, so this is mainly trained on gray images. So can someone tell me how we're going to change it? Come on, someone tell me. Which function, if you remember, are we going to change it to? We just did it during the filtering. Chat. Yeah, so it's going to be CV dot convert color, and we're going to do it into gray. So image, comma, CV dot color underscore. There's a, is this going to run? Look at this code and tell me if this is going to run right. Uh-huh. No. So Sinwei told right. I put RGB, but in OpenCV it's not RGB, it's BGR, if you remember. Okay. Okay. So now we have converted it, and I'm gonna add a new variable called faces is equals to face cascade. So this variable here, face cascade dot detect multi-scale. Okay, so this is going to find the faces for you. Okay, so I'm going to pass in the image gray. Okay, so over here I'm going to tell to face cascade that we're going to use this file, this cascade file, and over here we're going to find, so detect multi-scale, we're going to find these faces. Now how do we see? Okay, so now we're going to create a bounding box. So now I have received the faces. So once I pass in within faces, I'm going to find out like, oh, these are the faces, but now I need to show it on the image, right? So how about we create a small rectangle? So using the earlier code again, we're going to run a for loop. Okay, so we have x comma y comma w comma h. Okay, in faces. So faces is going to have these values. So it's going to have the x coordinate, the y coordinate of that face, then the width and the height of how the face is going to be. Okay, so we're going to run that. So within that for loop, we're going to create a rectangle. So it's going to be CV dot rectangle of image. Okay, because we're going to draw the rectangle on the initial image, right? Okay, and then if you remember the starting point and the ending point, the starting point is going to be x comma w in a rectangle. The ending point is going to be x plus w comma y plus h, because you want the entire rectangle on your face, right? And then let me put in some cool values for a color. put 100, 255. And then I'm going to pass in a thickness of 3. And that's it. It's so simple. This is how you recognize a face from a picture. Okay, so let me just go through the code again. Face cascade is there. And then you're going to say, I'm going to use this file to find my faces. And then I'm going to find my faces using, and I'm going to pass the image through here. Okay, and through the faces will have these values. It's going to show X, Y, W, H, and I'm going to form a rectangle. So let's see. I'm going to run this code and see. So it recognizes the faces. A few things that I've noticed though. Okay, I have this other picture of mine, but it's a bit noisy. Has a lot of stuff. So I just want to show that maybe most of the time it is not really accurate. So let me just show this one. So if you see in this picture, it's a bit noisy. It recognizes this as a face and this as a face. So it's not like HAR cascades are the only files that's there. There are so many other files too, but this is what we're going to use, and it's given default by OpenCV. Okay, so all good? All good. So, okay, fine. So going on to the next one, the final project. Can someone tell me what all we're going to integrate into this? If you remember what I've shown you, what all have we learned that we're going to integrate into this final project? Come on. Chat. If the people from the beginning maybe who have seen what we're going to do in the end. Sorry? Yeah, we're going to use the webcam then. The face recognition, that's right. Then the boundary box, the rectangle, facial recognition on video, that's right. One more thing. Yeah, the image gray filter. And if you want to get it in that way, we're going to use the image crop as well, because in the example that I showed earlier, you're going to have my face and my eyes inside. So there could be a lot of identified eyes as well. So you don't want to have that, right? You want to have the eyes inside the particular face. So you're going to crop the image that way. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay, I created a new function again. Okay, so import. Oh, did I mute myself the whole time? Oh no, was I muted the whole time? Or I just muted now, right? By mistake? Did you guys follow through the face recognition? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. But can someone reply if they got the face recognition part right? Oh, I think by mistake I removed. Okay, fine. Sorry. So over here, as explained, I'm going to copy paste this webcam. Okay, and I'm going to create a new function to detect each face by the frame. Okay, so even the webcam video, like I'm going to pause at each and every frame, and then I'm going to detect. So I'm going to pass this function through. I'm just going to take this and copy paste it here. Okay, and instead of image, I'm going to put frame. And in this function, we're going to do all the work. We're going to do all the reading and stuff like that. So like we said earlier, what is the first step for facial recognition? What's the first step that we're going to do? Chat, come on. Okay, cascade file. That's true too. But before that, we do something, right? Yeah, so we're going to make the image gray. Okay, so I'm going to make frame gray is equals to cv.cvt color of frame, comma, cv.bgr to gray. Okay, so I have this frame gray. And now, oh yes, and as Daniel also said, the cascade file. So if you see, apart from this, I'm going to declare the cascade file as well. So over here above, could be anywhere. I'm going to do the face cascade. And I'm also going to do the eye cascade. Okay, so it's going to be cv dot again, cascade classifier of. So how do I do the copy pasting? I'm going to use i3 eyeglasses. Okay, so I'm going to copy that path. Okay, path from content root. And then I'm going to put this here. Okay, so i3 eyeglasses. So you have a face cascade, which is going to recognize faces, and the eye cascade, which is going to recognize eyes. Okay, so now we have done this. What is the next step? Come on, tell me. We're going to do step by step. What's the next step? What's the next step that we just did earlier? Chat. Apply the cascade. That's right. Okay, so if you see over here, we're going to apply the cascade. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste that, but instead of image gray, I'm going to use frame gray. Okay, now like we did earlier, I'm going to run a for loop, and it's going to say x, y, width, height in faces. Okay, and now I will have to form a rectangle. So instead of so I'm going to make an existing frame. So to the existing frame, I'm going to apply this rectangle. So if you see this here, we can just copy paste this one here. Okay, just take this and copy paste this one here. And I think I want to make it blue, so I'm going to increase this value, and I'm just going to make this 100. Okay, so I'm going to make frame is 4. Yeah, so this is how you're going to see faces. So let me just run this initial one, and we'll see if it works. Oh, it's not working. There's some problem. BGR2. Wait. Oh, it's color underscore. Sorry, my bad. Color underscore BGR to gray. I'm gonna run that and see. Wow, 2 faces. It's not accurate. You can see so many faces. X is height, right? No, X is actually the coordinates. So W and H is height. So X is coordinates. So if you see this is X comma Y, and this is width, and this is height. And I'm going to create the rectangle based on that. So if you remember from the earlier thing, in the rectangle, I'm going to put X plus W and Y plus H, which is the final coordinate. And that's here. So you have one coordinate there, one coordinate here. Okay, so I'm going to stop this because it's eating my laptop. So yeah, now we got the rectangle right. Now what's the next step? We need to make the eyes, right? So what do you guys think we should do within this for loop, right? What do you guys think we should go ahead and do now? Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do the eye cascade and get and get the values of I. So I is equals to eye cascade, like earlier, dot detect multi-scale. I'm just copying that. I cannot. Multi-scale frame gray. Okay. Now I can do the same thing. So for x1, y1, w1, h1 in eyes, I can do all that, and then I can create frame is equals to cv.circle, which is in frame, and I and blah blah. So you have the center, the radius, the color, and stuff. But like, you know, I don't think I will get the right intended one with this. Like the kind of project I want, like the one I showed, I think with this code right here, there's gonna be an issue. Can someone tell me what the issue is gonna be? It won't be the same thing. Can someone tell me what the issue is gonna be? Yeah, there's a reason, but the intended plan doesn't work out. What? The intended plan doesn't work out. Like, I want to show eyes in a particular region, right? That doesn't work out with this code. Right? Make sense? So how do you think I can go forward? Because if you see, right, okay, I'm not going to give you the solution, but I'm going to tell what I want. I have the rectangle over my face, and I want the circle inside the rectangle, right? Or else with this, obviously it's going to, sense a lot of different eyes and stuff, but I want the eyes particularly within the face. So how do you think I should go ahead with that? It's one thing that we discussed earlier. How do you think we can draw the box? How do you think we can exclude just the box around my face? Yeah. So yeah, okay. Daniel told you crop it. Yeah. So within this value, you're gonna crop that, and only within that you're gonna see. So that is gonna be within frame gray. So you're gonna crop this frame gray. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna create a new value, frame circle. Okay, and then I'm going to crop frame gray. So I'm gonna be frame gray, and so it's going to be height and then width. So it's going to be y plus h, comma x plus w. If I want the entire rectangle, I'm going to crop it in that way. So it'll be y, the y coordinate, and below there, and x coordinate, and this side. Okay, and this frame circle. And now I'm going to only specify that I want to find eyes only within this frame circle. Okay, and then we're going to do the rest. So I'm just going to give the math. I think to get the math for this is a bit complicated, a lot of trial and error, and we don't have much time. So I'll just go ahead and you can just copy the code from mine. So we'll have the eye center, and then we'll have the radius. At the same time, you want the radius within the face, and you want the eye center in the eye center itself. So I'm just going to declare this eye center, comma, radius, comma. Let me put some cool color. Let me try 100, 100, 100. Okay, and thickness of 4. So this value I'm going to just give, you can just copy this. So it's x plus x2 plus x1 plus w1 divided. So it's 2 slashes by 2, comma, y plus y1 plus h1 slash 2. And the radius is going to be int of round of y1 plus h1 into 0.25. Okay, so these values, it's a bunch of trial and error, but yeah, this is how it works. So the radius is, the width and height of the eyes, and you can't use the entire thing, so just quarter of that. Okay, let me just, yeah. So this is the code, and let's see if it works. Okay, let's see if it works. Let's see. It works. So you guys should also try it. Are you guys trying it on your own? Yeah, is it coming? See, even my nose is an eye, but okay. So yeah, this is how it works. Okay, let me just. The color is not coming. The color is a bit gray actually. 100, 100, 100 is gray. So let me just do this 255. So this is how it looks like. Okay, did everyone get it? Yeah. So it's just all what we've learned, the small pieces together. We just piece them together and then we come up with this new project. So you can do more features with this. If you use more into filters, you can do color detection, but that requires a lot of work. And yeah, so as I've said earlier, you can do number plate, license plate recognition, profile face, Russian plate number apparently, and a lot of cool things like this. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's workshop. I hope this was pretty beginner friendly. I know that there was a bit of a mishap in the beginning regarding the Python interpreter. I hope everything was fine. Additionally, I'd like to say that our technical director role is open for the year. So if you guys are interested in applying, so it'll be the same like this. If you have any cool topics that you've learned that you'd like to share, do let me or Tom know, and we can sign you up. We can sign an interview for you guys up. And yeah, so that's it. Let me just share. So this is all our social media platforms, and you can check it out. I really hope you guys had a good time. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, thank you.